Okay. All right, let's, I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Fall River Redevelopment Authority, today, March 11th, 2020. I will read the open meeting law statement and we'll go from there. Pursuant to the Massachusetts Open Meeting Law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. That being said, I'd like everyone to stand and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. You want to institute the roll call?
Yes. Mr. Marshall?
Here, yes.
Ms. Branco?
Here.
Mr. Erickson? Ms. Gonsalves?
Here.
And Ms. Medeiros?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, good. You've gotten copies of the minutes of the February 12th meeting. After you reviewed it, are there any additions, deletions, omissions? Discussion? No? Is there a motion to accept?
Motion to accept. I'll second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No, good. So moved. At this time, you've introduced yourself already, but did you want to say something, Mr. Hutchins?
Actually, you need a motion to take this out of order.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do that. Let's make a motion to take this discussion out of order of the...
So it's item 4,
Item
3, 4B, 3, I believe.
A lot of paper here. 2, isn't it?
Yeah, 4B2.
Thank you.
Okay.
Relative to the Hutchins
yeah.
project
Yes.
only.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, is there a motion to take that out of order?
Motion to take it out of order.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved.
So Scott and
Gentlemen.
Jay, would you like to come to the table? Or?
Say hi. Yeah, sure.
And
Again?
if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves to the public and to the board once again.
Okay.
And just let them know like who you are, what you do,
Yep.
how many people you employ in this new project, and about maybe share the good news
Very good.
Right.
Okay.
about today.
Sounds good.
Yeah. My name is Jason Hutchins. Just met.
Scott Hutchins. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
And yeah, no, we're excited to be here every day. Today is a special day because we just closed on a new investment. But we were born and raised in New Bedford. Started our business in 1998 in New Bedford, and since July of 2005, Fall River has been our home away from home. We bought land here at the 481 Current Road location in July 2005. We moved in April of 2006 with 50,000 square feet of production space and 38 full-time employees. At that point, we made a commitment to add, I think it was 4 or 5 new jobs over the next 2 years. We blew that away relatively quickly, and as of today, we have around 325 full-time employees. We opened our first cold storage facility with the help of Bristol County Savings Bank and Fall River Redevelopment Authority in 2017. We started that with 80,000 square feet. It added another 50,000 square feet, bringing that up to around 130,000 square feet of cold storage space, holding 25,000 pallet positions. We support a lot of local businesses. Blount Fine Foods, one of our neighbors, is one of our larger customers at the cold storage facility. Gold Medal Bakery here in Fall River, and it's there's just a lot of local businesses and local people that support that building. So since January of 19, I think the stats are we've added about 100,000 square feet of manufacturing cold storage space, added a little over 50 full-time jobs, and invested about $12 million into the businesses, into the local economy. And all that being said, we're out of room, and we still have lots of different opportunities to grow our business. And we've looked in New Bedford, we've looked in Taunton, the Miles Standish Industrial Park, and we really want to keep everything close. So when this opportunity came up with the land on Innovation Way, it was like, wow, this is perfect for us. So we closed on that today.
Yeah.
And the plan is to start construction in
probably in the spring, about this time next year. We're going through all the engineering and architecture work now. That'll take about 6 months, and then that'll be right in late fall, early winter, and we don't want to start construction at that point. So we'll be starting construction about this time next year.
So overall project is roughly 200,000 square feet of cold storage facility there, and maybe all frozen, maybe part frozen, part refrigerated, but in that cold storage space with an anticipated 30 to 35 additional full-time jobs from phase 1 of that project. So.
They will be asking they've actually already submitted a letter of intent under the EDIP/TIPS program at the beginning of this project, and they will be asking the TIF board and then the city council for a personal and real estate property tax commensurate with, consistent with what they happened before, and the job, full-time permanent job projection. So just I've been working with this company and Jay and Scott now for many years in my previous role with the state, and they promise and then they over-deliver. And it's recently they were the Golden Globe, not Golden Globe, the Gold Medal recipient for the Mass Econ Awards for manufacturing, representing this region. Very, very happy to say congratulations again. And and you waved the banner for the city of Fall River and the people of Fall River so well, and so I wanted them to have the opportunity to meet you all, because I think this is the beginning. This is phase 1. We're anticipating a phase 2. I don't know, I'm sorry I had to leave the room regarding your closing docs. So did you inform the board about the possible next part 2?
We haven't, no.
You want to do that now?
Sure, yeah, so on the manufacturing side, the raw seafood side, we're running, again, out of space at that facility. So we bought this partial, this 26 acre partial is kind of a phase 1 for the cold storage. The phase 2 is for a new manufacturing facility for raw seafoods. So we'd be, the cold storage would be next spring, and then the raw seafoods facility would be the following spring, starting construction. And just allow us to continue to build the manufacturing facility in more jobs, of course, and just give us some more space.
And retain the jobs here.
Yes.
Part of our discussion early on was obviously as doing your due diligence to look elsewhere, but very pleased.
Yes, no, it worked out great. It worked out
we
great.
worked hard
Yes,
together.
yes, absolutely.
And we're here.
Yes, yeah, thank you, Maria,
Very good.
So with that additional manufacturing space, that's where we get into the 100+ new jobs. And Raw Seafoods has been our name for 22 years now, but we've really diversified into meats and poultries and prepared foods and things like that. So it might be a change in that, but the brand is J. Scott Foods that you'll see in Costco's and various retailers around the country. So it's not just seafood anymore. It's more food related manufacturing. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we just want to come down and
Thank
you guys for going through and helping us out with this project, another project. So.
Yeah, there's an open invitation for anyone to visit anytime. Once we're through this phase of we don't know who to let in, who not to let in. When the time is right, we'd love to have anyone that wants to visit come down and see exactly what we do.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a group visit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Love to take a tour.
All right, great.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you have any questions for us, or?
No, Maria's kept us up to date.
Okay.
Pretty much along the way.
Yes.
We're a relatively new board. I mean, we've been around a while, but
Yeah.
we're relatively new, but Maria's been very good about keeping us up to date with you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent. Yeah, no, we appreciate the support of the city, we
Yeah.
appreciate all the help
Yeah, Maria,
Maria's
thank you.
given us and guidance, and it's, we're looking forward to a great future.
Certainly. Good.
Yep.
Good luck.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Congratulations. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming down.
All right,
Thanks,
you're welcome.
thanks for having us.
Okay, have a good night.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Bye.
thanks for the time. Good news.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, I love good news stories.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can't find them as easily, but, you want to, deal with the, executive report? Oh, no, first we gotta talk about the, financial report.
Yeah, so I have submitted to the
Yeah.
board, draft, balance sheet and, P&L for 2019, as, we have a couple of, adjustments to make in terms of classification of expenses, but the net effect, of cash accounts are balanced. You also have in front of you, a first quarter P&L for
Yeah.
2020. And in addition, you have a balance sheet and P&L for 2018. This was prepared with Norman and Graham.
Mm-hmm.
These documents will be submitted along, the 2018 documents will be submitted to our auditors. And they've sent me a long list of items as well as an electronic portal through which we're gonna be uploading something else to learn. But all that information will be sent shortly, and hopefully we'll be able to close that out now that we have actual a balance sheet and P&L, which we didn't have in 2017. So I think we're on the right track. I'm happy to go through any particular items with the board. If you just give me a shout, or we could do that now. I did not bring the details, so my suggestion is for you to take these home.
Yeah.
Look through them,
Yep.
right? And then we can go through them, and what I would once again ask again for the chair and the members to consider is a working committee to be able to work with me one-on-one, get as much information as they can in order to deliver it at a public board meeting, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
So the next item is the warrant, Chairman Marshall.
I got so much paper, it's crazy. All
Oh,
right.
well, okay.
Next time we'll have less paper.
Well, if you wanna use the one that's stapled, it might be.
Well, that's the one that's in front of me. I
Okay.
can't even find the warrants.
So the warrant before you is
Three,
for
four.
$17,032.68. I've given you a full list of payables.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what it does is, its total payables are $46,803.66, less a payroll, which is an accrual, which will not be, not due and payable until invoiced. We haven't received the invoice yet. So the amount of checks I'm asking you to authorize today is for $17,032.68 with the detail above you.
Right, I found that.
Okay. And if you have any questions on what they are, I'm happy to. Chairman, I will give you my expense, if anybody wants to see my expense sheet ahead of time before
Oh.
authorizing it, you can. I mean, obviously, you can look at all of, here,
We've-
I brought all the bills
We've
for
seen that
this.
before.
Yeah, yeah. It's travel.
Yeah.
Let me
Are
get
there
it out.
any questions, any discussion, any additional information you may need?
Here, Joe,
Yeah.
that's my travel, if you wanna, I think that would be the only thing that would be,
Yeah, that's the only thing that has detail. Detail.
yeah.
Maria, this is in the list of still getting up to speed on stuff, but
Correct.
I noticed that we're paying Brown Realty Advisors. Is that a contract, and is that a monthly fee
That
that
was
we're
a
paying to them?
That was a previous contract, this is the culmination of the first contract. And then the board renewed, we put out an RFP for real estate and consulting contracts. So he has actually been engaged for contract number 2.
Okay.
And contract number 2 is in compliance with chapter 30B. Anything over a certain amount had to go out to public bid. So this actually represents the amount on the contract number 1.
Okay. And do they receive a percentage of the sales on the land in addition?
On contract number 2.
On contract. Thank
And
you.
that's available in my office.
Okay.
And the contract was similar to the one that the board previously had with Hyman. Same rates.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If there, you need a little more time? No, you're good. If there's no other questions, we'll need a motion to approve the warrant payment.
Motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No? So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now the meat and potatoes, the executive director's reports.
First item on your agenda is that we received a request from the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce Foundation to support matching funds of $20,000 should they receive the award. This is my understanding, it is through Mass Development. You have the specifics of the grant. It is in support of the downtown initiative. The idea is that it would supplement the existing downtown initiatives that the city already has in place, specifically the storefront improvement program. And so I have suggested a motion that is is a contingent upon their receiving that grant amount awards. So
Is that up to 20,000 or 20,000?
20,000 max.
It is 20,000.
Yeah, 20,000.
Okay.
There's a schedule of other matching supporters, matching grant supporters in the documents you have. And they have been doing a phenomenal amount of work. And as you know, and for the public, TDI initiative is a 2-year commitment that the city engaged with Mass Development about a year ago. And so they are in their sort of the final implementation, not final, the implementation stages. Rallied a great group of people that meet regularly and work together. They had the Valentine's Day pop-up open house. I asked everybody to go visit it on South Main. It's a great location to see what's happening. And that's, if you would like, at some point, to invite Jim McCabe, who is the fellow, to discuss those initiatives and see how they would align with the downtown urban renewal plan. So I put that out there for consideration at another time.
Future meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to entertain a motion to approve?
I just don't know
Go
if
ahead.
I should. I'm actually still currently on the board for the Bristol County Chamber, so I don't know
Yeah, you probably
It
should.
was
Well,
considered
at
a
a minimum, you
conflict,
need to
I should.
disclose. If you
Right.
don't, you or your relatives don't have any financial interest,
No.
you should recuse yourself. But I had thought the council was going to be here today, so my advice would be is just to recuse yourself to as wide a swath as you
I'm recused.
want.
Consider-
Better to be safe than
Consider
sorry.
yourself
For the
recused.
reasons that you are currently a member of the Bristol County Foundation,
Not a member, yeah, a board member.
a board member.
Just a
Thank
board
you.
member,
Yeah.
but not on the foundation.
No.
Good.
No.
All Well, we can still make a motion.
No conflicts then.
Any other conflicts?
Well, the only issue we have here is that they have me listed as a grant review committee person, except I've not yet been invited to be on the grant committee.
They had you listed, but you're
Yes.
not there because you haven't done it.
Yeah, so this was, I didn't realize that till the other day, so, again. the-
Well, knowing that information, that should be enough.
Yeah, the disclosure would be
Yeah,
sufficient.
yeah.
In my opinion, but you do have counsel if you care to defer the vote to the next.
Do they have any urgency around this, Maria?
It's been, yes, there are deadlines.
Are the deadlines a month or 3 months from now?
You know, I don't know off the top of my head, Joe, but I think time was of the essence, and that's why they asked if we could get it on the agenda today, so.
Well, we can do that contingent upon council
Yes, exactly.
giving us
An opinion.
an okay to do that. So we can take the vote contingent on the council, corporation, John Coughlin, verifying whether or not we can do that. If not, we'll defer it. Or we can turn it down, but I think
Okay.
we should approve it with this contingent.
Contingent upon not only the grant actually being awarded, but from a ruling, from an opinion of our legal counsel,
Mhm.
whether or not Ms. Maderos' vote should be counted.
Right, and you can
Fair
throw
enough.
in Lori's situation at the same time.
Exactly. All right.
Okay, so is there a motion to accept it with those conditions?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, in a second, yeah. All in favor, aye, anyone opposed? Okay, so moved. That'll move it forward. All right.
Excellent, thank
Yes.
you. So I just wanted to bring you up to date on the economic development activities that we are actually do conduct for the city of Fall River. The storefront facade improvement program is one of them, for which we receive actually, so there are a couple of things. We issue the matching grant to the recipient, and then in turn, we submit an invoice for CDBG to be reimbursed for that. And then in addition, we can bill CDBG funds for the time that I spend administering and working on this project. So, wanted to let you know, very happy that, we did issue the check for Up in Flames, which you approved at last month's meeting. I have submitted a reimbursement for CC Nails. They received their check, you also approved that last month. And then in the warrant that you just approved today, and then pending writing out a check, Pacheco Furniture will receive a reimbursement again. This is this is the matching grant portion under the city storefront improvement program. So I wanted to let you know that we have now 4 storefront improvement matching grants that we've issued, and we have another 7 in the queue. So the next thing that to let the board know that I have invoiced CDBG funds in the amount of $25,762.88 for the services that the Redevelopment Authority provides to the city relative to economic development activities. And all of those reports are submitted to this CDA on a monthly basis, and then we, under our contract, are required to submit a quarterly report. So I need to get you up to date on what has been submitted, and then we have until the middle of April to submit the next
Good.
report.
All right, great. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
Moving right along. The redevelopment authority report?
So the status of the city pier, I think, Ms. Maderos, would you care to brief
Sure.
the members on, we had a briefing with PAR the other day to just get up to speed on the current status.
So, Power Engineering has prepared our next submission, which is due at the end of March.
Yeah.
So we had approved money for that at last month's meeting.
Yep.
And that will be submitted shortly, and we will be in compliance with the timelines that were set out. We talked about the project, and we're all trying to get up to speed on this, of course, as we're all new board members. And after yesterday's meeting, we left it with the idea that we'll next meet with DEP to better understand the remaining scope of the project from the regulatory standpoint, and then report back at the April meeting.
Good. You think it was worthwhile, the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes, most definitely.
Good. Oh, about the flyer. Next item.
So attached to your packet and is just a suggestion that you may want to consider buying a ticket or sponsoring Taste of Fall River. Again, this is another downtown and citywide initiative. Since we are currently in the business of not only doing redevelopment but economic development support, I thought that for board's consideration you might like to participate.
Did we do it last year?
No. Not to my knowledge. Well, no.
You would know.
Yeah.
What's the
So there are
pleasure of the board?
different levels.
Yeah. Any discussion? Do we have?
So I guess if I'm reading this correctly, the 500 level would get us some recognition on their media, both print and social media and the
Mhm.
like.
And they do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Years ago, we had kind of a similar thing in Fall River, so I'm kind of glad to see it's being resurrected. Because it was very popular and got people into spots that they may not have tried, and lots of folks found new places to try out along the way and then patronize.
Excellent.
I would suggest that we consider supporting this at the $500 level.
Okay. All right. Does everyone feel the same, or? Yeah?
I think it's good to support the local businesses.
Okay, why don't we make a motion so that Maria can move forward with our commitment? Want to make a motion?
A motion to be a sponsor for Taste Fall River at $500.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, aye? Anyone opposed? So you'll take care of that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maria, I'm sorry, through the chair.
Yeah.
On item 4B2, you have Hutchins Holding, and we've heard from Scott
Oh,
and
thank you.
Jason, but GSR is also listed here.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay,
For,
good.
this is just to inform the board that GSR withdrew its offer, its counteroffer to purchase the land at 191 Commerce. Stu.
Okay,
So it's available for sale.
good to know. Okay. Any other business that isn't on the agenda? Any other business that we know of, that you know of, that you'd like to bring up? Okay. Okay, hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. The board intends to convene in executive session for the following purpose, and it will not be reconvened in open session afterwards. Chair will read each agenda item, review and approve executive session minutes of February 12th to discuss real estate negotiations for property at Innovation Way in Fall River. An open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. Also, the board will not resume the open meeting at the conclusion of an open session except to adjourn. and also to discuss the strategy with respect to litigation pursuant to Mass General Law 30A, an open meeting, and that's, okay. And then the chairman will ask, I will ask, for a roll call vote to go into executive session for the aforementioned reasons. Roll call. Joseph Marshall, yes. Luis Gonzalez? Yes. Lori Ann Branco?
Yes.
Joan Maderas?
Yes.
John absent. Okay. So the motion is passed. We will now go into executive session.